All right, how's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'm back with more of my Spider-Man PS4 trailer reactions. Next up, I've got the Game Informer, how combat works in Spider-Man. Let's get into this.
When it comes to combat, we really want to push this idea that he is this master of improvisation. He's not, 15 years old. He's not just getting used to his powers. We definitely want to play up the fact that he has the ability to juggle between webs, melee, environment action, and gadgets, and switch between them pretty quickly to give you a lot of player choice within each setup. The very basics of combat starts with melee, right? You have your square button and keep hitting it in the next rhythm, and you're
There's been a lot of
attacks.
Spider-Man
That's kind
games,
of the
but the fact
start.
that
You use that
the
to kind
combat
of
was this
begin
smooth and
the rest
this
of your abilities, whether it's
complex.
holding it down and launching a guy up in the air, and then pressing it down again to jump up with him and continue attacking, then pressing triangle to web strike down, holding web strike to grab guys and throw them. It kind of starts with the basics of melee. We really want to get you off the ground and using your
I love their
acrobatics,
little
using your
display too,
gadgets,
with
and
the
using your
Funko
webs
Pops and
to feel
everything,
more like Spider-Man.
and the
It's
Ratchet
really
and
want to
Clank
play to
stuff.
Spider-Man's strengths. We just didn't want it to be a brawler, right? He's so much more acrobatic, and he really has that sense of fluidity and flow in combat. But it's not just on the ground.
This is
It's constantly
kick-ass, the way
going
they did
back,
the
up and
combat.
down, left and right, and using the environment to really deliver that idea of improvisation. And you're kind of in control of that improvisation. So I think of all the little things that you can experiment with. One of my favorite things to do is to punch a guy up in the air and then just slam him down, right, with my webs. But I was experimenting the other day with, hey, what if I punch him in the air and then I start webbing him up? And then I pull him down, and I noticed that the combat team had added the ability to, if he has a bunch of webs on him and then I slam him down, he's now stuck to the ground. It's those little things that you discover as you're playing the game. And since it's less combo based, it's more move and ability based, you can really start to experiment on. Or, for example, you'll be punching the guy near a scaffolding, and then you do the web shooters, and now he'll stick to the scaffolding, and then another guy comes by, and you can pull the scaffolding on the rest of them. So it's just kind of that experimentation. It lets you start to really try out a lot of different things. So there's a lot of different enemies coming at you. They're coming from all different angles, all different weapons, and using that to your advantage. I think it felt more sandboxy than I ever thought it actually would be.
Looks like he's got the same Spider-Man hat that I do too.
It's going to be
The red one with the white spider logo on the front.
Want to play the game. We actually can slow things down a bit.
I remember getting that hat in 2018 before the game came out.
Take guys out without even alerting others, so you can kind of thin the herd before you go into it in strike. You have that flexibility within the game. We said this is more experienced Spider-Man. He's been doing for 8 years, so we want you to feel like a hero right away, but we want you to feel like a greater hero over time. So we're
right through the sign.
Pretty deep progression system where you can unlock new moves and abilities over time, but also craft new gear,
Spider-Punk,
and suit mods,
Spider-Man Noir,
improving the abilities of your gadgets over time. So when I thought about why Sonic would be such a good fit for Spider-Man, one of the reasons why was our experience with making gadgets. And what's great is that you can access them in-game via a gadget wheel, just like you would see in a Ratchet game or Sunset Overdrive or even Original Resistance. We have the tripwire. I like it because it's so multifaceted, so you can use it. You can be perched above a bunch of enemies, and they could be on patrol, and you can stick it to an environment, and they'll be walking by a wall, and they'll get slammed into the wall, which is really cool.
This guy is just you can tell he loves Spider-Man.
Fight, and you place on an enemy, and another enemy walks by, they slam.
I mean, everyone at Insomniac does, but especially him.
We have the web bomb, which is great for crowd control. It's just fun to
he's so excited talking about the game.
Throw it out, kind of rises in the air, and then just webs go everywhere. Now you can melee the guys, put them up in the air. What I like to do is send out a line, grab one, start twirling them around your head, and then toss them into the other. One of my favorites.
I literally do that all the time.
Hovers above and shoots these rapid fire webs at enemies. You can either use to distract enemies or set you up for attacks. It has the personality of both Peter and Insomniac. So in some of our city activities, we'll have the main objective, okay, you got to stop this storefront robbery, or you got to stop this drug deal happening. But some of these objectives will actually have sub-objectives like complete 5 finishers or take 3 guys out with your tripwire, those kind of things. So there's actually a little replayability, but at the same time, you get extra stuff that you can use for customization. So it's kind of yeah, you completed the Fisk base, but did you complete all the sub-objectives? Because that'll give you actually more currency to bring back and use into customization and progression. So it's really important for us that we want players to be the Spider-Man they want to be, so they can unlock the skills and the abilities that they want to. But at the same time, we talked about the gear and the gadgets and the suits and all the activities in the city that you complete will all contribute to things you need to craft those items. So we really want to make sure that not only you feel like a great superhero, but you're the superhero that you want to be.
Yep.